Hello everyone and welcome back to La Vida Futbol. My name is Luis Laureano. I am a UEFA B licensed coach from California, currently living and coaching in Germany. And today we're going to talk about the number 9, the striker, the center forward. We're going to talk about 4 main topics. The first one is technique and skill, what you need to be a number 9, tactical knowledge, tactical movement, and tactical ideas that you need to know. Third thing, we're going to talk about physicality, what you need for your body as a number 9. And the last thing we're going to talk about is the psychological, the mental game. So before we get started, we have a point 0, and that point 0 is that you have to score goals as a number 9. As a number 9, you're a striker, and the first thing you need to do is score goals. So if you're not scoring goals, then you're not really meant to be a number 9. So the first point is technical skills. The first thing you need to do is to be able to control the ball. Okay, so that means that if the ball comes in your direction, you should be able to handle it. You should be able to control it with different parts of your body. And you need to be able to continue that play with another action. So that could be that you control the ball with your feet and then you make a turn, or you control the ball and then lay it off, or control the ball with your chest, bring it down, and then make a move. So that's what I mean about controlling it with different parts of your body. That is the first thing. You also need to know how to pass, do a quick pass. So passing in the sense of like a wall pass. So that could mean just someone's coming from the angle, they pass the ball to you, and then you dish it off in front of them while they're on their run. Another type of pass that you might need to do is a return pass, meaning you get the ball and you simply return it to the player. Okay? And the reason you would do that is so that that player can essentially go from one position to the other. Okay, but you need to be able to read those things. That is a tactical thing, being able to read what the next move is. Next thing is you need to be able to turn. A lot of the time you are playing with a defender behind you, you're playing with your back against the opponent's goal. So that is a situation where in order for you to look at the goal or face the goal, you need to be able to turn. And that is turn your body with the ball. And essentially turning without the ball is just getting in position to receive the ball. Okay, that is a tactical point as well. But the technique that you can use there is a fake. So a fake run, a fake step, and then getting into position. Of course, is important is to be able to turn with the ball, and that means that you can use both feet to turn. Also, when you have the ball, fake and then make a turn. And there's different types of turns that you can do. When you get the ball and you have a defender behind you, that you can use your body to essentially know where the defender is. So skill in this case would be that you can identify the steps and the movements of the defender. So if the defender steps to the left, that you can essentially take advantage of that by going to the right. If they do it from the right, that you can take advantage of it by going left. You can also do that with the ball with a fake. So what that means is when you have the ball, that you fake step to the right, make that defender go, and then go to the left. Regardless of what it is, you need to be able to beat that defender one-on-one when you're with your back against the goal. Okay, so that's the second skill that you need. Another thing that you need to be really good at is shooting, and you need to be able to shoot with different parts of your foot, the inside, the outside, the laces, your toes. You can also shoot the ball with your head, with your shoulder, with your chest, with your thigh, with your knee. You need to be able to shoot that ball in any way possible to try to get it in goal, okay? Because the balls that you receive in a game are very different to the ones that you receive at training. At training, everything is a little bit more controlled. The defenders are usually a little bit less active, essentially going maybe 60, 70%, 80%. And in the game, that's not the case. In the game, you're going 100%, and defenders are going 100%. So you need to be able to essentially meet the ball and essentially try to get a shot off. And like I said, if you can manage to control the ball, obviously control it and then shoot. Or if it's a first time shot, that you can shoot in the first on your first touch. So identify the trajectory of the ball and then be able to make a decision of how you're going to shoot the ball. Shooting also is our volleys, that you can shoot the ball while it's in the air, and essentially get in position for that. Okay, that is a tactical thing to get in position to get a shot, but the skill that we're talking about is just to be able to manage to get a shot. Okay, and that requires that you can shoot well. So the next thing that you need to be good at are aerial balls. Okay, so what that means is that you can get the ball, control a ball, shoot a ball when it's in the air or it's coming in the air, and that's with your head. So having the right technique for headers, jumping off one leg or jumping off both legs. So those require different skills. So are you good at that? Can you do it? And those are things, like I said, that you need to be good at. Also, being creative with maybe throwing a bicycle kick if it's possible. Whatever it takes to score a goal. The fifth thing that you need to be good at are 1v1s. You need to be good at beating a defender that's in front of you. Okay? And that doesn't just mean beating one person. That is beating multiple players. And it could be 1 versus 3. But that you can beat the one that's in front of you at that moment. And beating someone one-on-one could be you in front of the goal and then a player standing in front of you. So that would be a frontal 1v1. You also need to be good at a 1v1 when somebody's in front of you, but you are, for example, at the edge of the 18-yard line or the 16-meter, and you are trying to go either left or right. So being able to beat someone sideways as well. Because nowadays, when you beat one defender, there's usually another one that's standing right behind. Okay, so 1v1 with one defender, 1v1 versus the next defender, and then 1v1 versus a goalkeeper. You should be able to finish that play. The next topic is tactic. What do you need to be a number 9? So you have to have understanding of the game. You have to have understanding of your team and your teammates. You have to also have understanding of your coach and what the coach's plan is for the team, so that you can be successful in your role as a striker, as a number 9. Some things that can help you not only in your team but in general are things like positional understanding, timing, getting away from defenders with and without the ball. With the ball, that requires a little bit of skill, but also tactical knowledge is required, because you have to know where you are on the field. You have to know how many defenders are behind. You have to know where your teammates are. So there's also a tactical thing or a tactical aspect when beating a defender as well. Another thing that you need is positioning when your team has the ball. Okay, so if the ball is starting from the back, if your team is building from the back, where do you need to be? If your team plays a little bit more direct, then where you need to be standing for that, what your next action is going to be. So you have to understand what the plan is going to be. You have to see where your players are, so that you can anticipate the movements of the defenders. And obviously, if you know your teammates, that you can anticipate their next action as well, so that you can essentially be effective in making your next pass or being able to get a 1-2. Standing and positioning yourself in the right place is important. Another technical thing that you need is to be versatile. You need to be able to adapt to different teams. You need to be able to adapt to different defenses. You have to be able to adapt to your players. And essentially, if you are a new player as well, that is going to be an important point, that you can adapt. Of course, if you are a very good striker, that is also important that you need to be versatile, because you also have to adapt to that team, and at the same time that team has to adapt to you. If you're a really good striker, you are good at positioning, you're good at timing, you're good at shooting, you're good at scoring, then eventually that team will adapt to you. But as a player, you still have to adapt to the team to have the team be successful, and not only you as a striker. The third thing that we're going to talk about is the physical aspect of a striker and what you need. Okay, so as a striker, you need to be strong. Nowadays, a lot of strikers are really tall, especially for teams that play direct. So a lot of balls that are starting from the back go directly into the striker, or to the striker, and the striker needs to either control it or head it to a player or a teammate, control it, and then pass it to a teammate, whatever it is. If the game is a little bit more direct with your team, then you're going to be receiving a lot more aerial balls, and a lot more balls are going to be coming your direction. So the reason that you need to have some physical qualities are because nowadays a lot of the center backs are also really tall, are really strong, and can get very physical. Depending on what your built is, will determine what you need, okay, to essentially to compensate for whatever you're lacking. So if you are very tall, but you're lacking, for example, some speed, then essentially you need to improve your technical aspects so that lack of speed isn't becoming a burden to you. Or if you have speed but you don't have technical abilities, then you as a player need to adapt to that, and essentially position yourself so that you get balls not directly to you but essentially in front of you or on your run, or where you just need to take one touch and then essentially beat the defender. But of course, being a striker, it's important to have some technical skill, especially when you are close to the penalty area. You need to be clinical in this space that is like the goal scoring zone. So you need to have that skill to beat the defender and then get a shot off, and that requires technique and of course some skill to do that. Okay, another thing that you need is to be really fast in the sense of in short distances. So you need to be quick, you need to have some agility, and another thing that you need is to jump. Okay, so a lot of balls that you get from the wing are aerial balls, and you need to be able to essentially jump to get that, make a header, or like I said, if your team plays very direct, the ball comes to you, you need to be able to beat the center backs, the tall center backs, to that ball, and jumping high is important for that. What are some muscle groups that you need to work on? You need to work on your thighs, you need to work on your arms, the chest a little bit, so that you can essentially protect the ball when you have it. The thighs, so that you can build that power either to take off or to jump. Also a little bit of arms so that you can work on that speed, and essentially improve all these things so that you can optimize your physical build to essentially adapt to the game, the demands of the game nowadays, and essentially to be successful. The fourth thing that we're going to talk about is the psychological aspects of a striker. So you need to be mentally strong, and what that means is that you just have to be willing to do what it takes to get a goal. And you also need to have some thick skin. Okay, so at the beginning of the video, I said that point zero is that you need to score goals. If you don't score goals, then you're not going to be a number 9. Okay, you're not going to be a striker. If you, as a striker, turned off the video after that, then essentially you need to work on that mental game. This is like fuel to you. It should be fuel to you as a striker. You should want to always want to score goals. You should always want to make it better, and essentially be ready for that. Another thing that you need to be mentally strong with is criticism, because as a striker, it could be very bipolar game to game. One game you scored 2-3 goals and everybody loves you. Another one you missed 5 shots and everybody's criticizing you. And essentially that is part of a footballer, is when things are well, everybody's happy. When things are bad, everybody's upset. Okay, so essentially have some thick skin for those type of situations, and be able to identify who is with you all the way, regardless of whether you score or not, and keep those people close to you. It's important to have that. But of course, you also have to have a certain personality when it comes to being a striker. Like I mentioned, you have to score goals, and you have to have the goal in your mind, right? You have to have that eye for goal, right? Whatever you do, your idea should be, how can I score a goal, or how can I get my team to score a goal? You also need to be okay with having attention, because like I mentioned, if you score a lot of goals, people are going to love you. People are going to be like, yay, good job, well done. But if you continue to score a lot of goals, then you're going to continue to get positive feedback, of course, right? And you're going to have a little bit more people talking to you, wanting to be like you, whatever it is. So you have to be able to be prepared for that, and just know that it could happen. Don't essentially blow your head up and get you a big head thinking, oh yeah, if I score a lot of goals, I'm going to get a lot of attention. No, that's not what I mean. I just mean that if you do score a lot of goals, that is a possibility that can happen, that can come with being a striker and scoring a lot of goals. As another psychological thing is that you have to make yourself dangerous, and you have to make yourself a threat to defenders, and that could be through essentially making a statement at the beginning of the game, taking a defender one-on-one, taking the defenders one-on-one, and then getting a shot off. And this can be done early in the game so that, you know, for the rest of the game, the defenders know what to expect. So they have this threat at the beginning that they know is going to last for 90 minutes or however long your game is. Well, I hope that helped you. Those were a lot of things that essentially, a lot of points that I think that can help you as a striker. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit that like button. Remember to subscribe to La Vida Futbol. And if you have any ideas for videos, then comment that in the comment section below. We can continue with the striker in the number 9 position. We can talk about you know, the number 9 or the role of the number 9 in different formations. That was a request that I got. This was a request that I got to talk about the role of the number 9 or what the number 9 needs to do. And another thing was to talk about the number 9 in different formations. But if you have other ideas, comment that in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.